Kumail Nanjiani's favorite movie as a kid was 1978's Superman, and he also lived for the Batman movies, though sometimes took them a little too seriously. I remember when they cast Robin being so jealous that it wasn't me. I was not an actor, I was a child, and I was still very upset at Chris O'Donnell, says Nanjiani, 43. So actually being a superhero in director Chloe Zhao's Eternals was something Nanjiani threw himself into completely, from hitting the gym to pack on muscle to watching lots of Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington and even Errol Flynn in order to capture the vibe of a cinematic icon. Nanjiani's Kingo, who emits cosmic energy from his hands, is the fun one among a group of cosmic immortals who protected humanity for several thousand years until they broke up. In present day, when an existential threat brings the Eternals back together after centuries apart, Kingo has made himself into the biggest movie star in Bollywood, and has been for a good century. Kumail Nanjiani says getting jacked helped him break out of stereotypical roles. We've seen a lot of superheroes where their superpowers are a source of stress. Spider-Man, in some ways, his superpowers have ruined his life. He just wants to be a normal kid, Nanjiani says. But the essence of Kingo for him was always about joy. He loves his powers. He loves fighting. I wanted to see a superhero who really is like, man, this is pretty great. The Pakistani-American actor, known for his roles in The Big Sick and HBO's Silicon Valley, next co-stars with Ewan McGregor in the upcoming Disney Plus Star Wars series Obi-Wan Kenobi, and in January, he starts filming the Hulu limited series Immigrant, in which he plays the founder of the Chippendales dance troupe. Has not necessarily a guy that you would see wearing just a bow tie and no shirt, Nanjiani deadpans. Nanjiani talks with USA Today about his Marvel Cinematic Universe debut in Eternals, his Bollywood routines and blasting off to the Star Wars galaxy. Marvel's overstuffed Eternals is a star-studded exercise in superhero excess. Kumail Nanjiani, the first time you really genuinely meet him, has doing that Bollywood dance sequence. When he sees his Eternals family, his reaction is the least complicated out of anybody's. Oh my god, my family's here. Has excited that Terry's a mission. He misses his missions. Nanjiani, it starts off as a chore but it ends with joy because I grew up watching Bollywood movies. Up until the late 1990s when I moved to the US, I've seen almost every Bollywood movie. I know these dance sequences. And I was like, wow, these people are really good at dancing. I'm not as good at dancing. I have to learn. I feel like American audiences think of these Bollywood dance sequences in an ironic way. They think of them as kitschy. To me, it was never that. Nanjiani, no, I would not have done anything differently. I love playing this character. He was always a collection of opposites, has sincere and sarcastic, has selfless and very self-involved, has arrogant but completely open-hearted. So it's like a mix of these weird different things, but because none of us are any one thing, we feel like different people at different points in our lives and at different points in the day. I really wanted to capture that. Nanjiani, I don't know if Kingo's going to be in the sequel or not yet. Listen, the workout stuff's just become part of my routine and I get a lot out of it. My anxiety is lower, so I've been continuing it for that reason. Nanjiani, I think it would be Iron Man. They're both arrogant, they're both rich, they both love luxury, expensive clothes, nice cars. And certainly Robert Downey Jr.'s performance as Iron Man was a big point of comparison for me when I was working with Chloe. Iron Man occupied a very specific space in the MCU. Has gone. Maybe Kingo can be his own version of that kind of character. Nanjiani, that's a very good question. Laughs, I was going to say Thor, but I don't think Thor would be best friends with me. Who's the most grounded? Hawkeye seems to have a good head on his shoulders. Bruce Banner. That's it. I think we would genuinely get along great. Nanjiani, it was absolutely amazing. When you're on set, you have to put out of your head that you're in Star Wars, which is very hard to do because it really looks like you're in Star Wars. I'm dressed like I'm in Star Wars. The guy who I'm talking to looks a lot like Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was my first job outside of quarantine. I got vaccinated, went right to set and honestly had the best 3 months. Nanjiani, I know. And then I finally went to Disney World where I saw the Star Wars land and I was like, you know, it feels like I'm at work right now.